Fear. It's one of the most powerful emotions we experience as humans. Some fears are rational, like the fear of heights, darkness, or dangerous animals. But what about the fears that seem strange, unusual, or even impossible to understand? Phobias are more common than you might think. In fact, over 19 million adults in the US alone suffer from some type of phobia. That's nearly 1 in 12 people who live with an intense, irrational fear that can interfere with their daily lives. Some of these fears are well known, like the fear of spiders or flying. But others? They're far more unusual. Imagine being terrified of peanut butter, balloons, or even the color yellow. While these fears may sound strange, for those who experience them, they are very real and often overwhelming. Today, we're diving into the strangest phobias that people actually suffer from, the fears that leave most of us puzzled but affect those who have them in life-changing ways. So let's explore the fascinating, bizarre, and sometimes even ironic world of phobias. Arachibutyrophobia, the fear of peanut butter. Sticking to the roof of the mouth. Arachibutyrophobia is an intense fear of peanut butter sticking to the roof of the mouth. While this might sound unusual to most people, those who experience it can feel extreme anxiety, discomfort, or even panic at the thought of eating peanut butter. Some might be able to tolerate small amounts, while others completely avoid peanut butter and any foods containing it. This fear goes beyond simple food preferences. It is a deep-rooted phobia that can disrupt daily life, trigger distress, and even lead to physical symptoms like nausea or difficulty breathing. Many people with this phobia develop it after a negative experience. A person who once choked on peanut butter or had difficulty swallowing it might associate the food with danger, creating a lasting fear. Sometimes the fear isn't personal, but comes from witnessing someone else struggle with peanut butter. A child who saw a sibling or friend cough, gag, or choke on peanut butter might carry that fear into adulthood. The brain connects peanut butter with danger, reinforcing avoidance behavior whenever the person encounters it. For some individuals, the fear is linked to texture sensitivity. The thick, sticky consistency of peanut butter can feel overwhelming and uncomfortable. Some people are particularly sensitive to textures in their mouth and find peanut butter unbearable. The sensation of it sticking to the roof of the mouth can make them feel trapped, helpless, or unable to breathe properly. Even if they know it isn't truly dangerous, the discomfort triggers an intense fear response. There is also a connection between arachibutyrophobia and the fear of choking. Many people with this phobia are anxious about swallowing food, especially foods that stick to the throat or mouth. The fear of not being able to clear peanut butter from their mouth fast enough makes them feel unsafe. They may avoid eating alone or feel nervous around foods that require effort to swallow. This fear can extend to other thick or sticky foods like caramel, marshmallows, or certain spreads. Some cases of arachibutyrophobia are linked to control issues. Peanut butter sticks in the mouth longer than other foods, and for some individuals this sensation creates panic. The inability to immediately remove it can feel like a loss of control, triggering anxiety. Certain phobias, including this one, are deeply connected to a person's need to feel in control of their body and surroundings. Although this phobia is not as widely recognized as others, it can still have a significant impact on daily life. People with arachibutyrophobia might avoid peanut butter at all costs, carefully check food ingredients, or refuse to eat foods that even resemble peanut butter. In severe cases, they may experience anxiety just from seeing peanut butter or watching someone else eat it. Even talking about it can make them uncomfortable. Overcoming this fear often requires gradual exposure and therapy. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, can help individuals change their thought patterns and reduce anxiety associated with peanut butter. For some, controlled exposure therapy, where they are introduced to peanut butter in small, manageable steps, can help them regain confidence. Relaxation techniques, such as deep breathing or mindfulness, can also help manage the physical symptoms of fear. While this phobia may seem odd to those who don't experience it, it is a real and distressing condition for those who do. Like any phobia, it is not simply a matter of disliking something, but an intense, irrational fear that can interfere with normal activities. Understanding and addressing the underlying cause of the fear can help individuals regain control and reduce anxiety associated with peanut butter. Nomophobia, the fear of being without a mobile phone. Nomophobia is the intense fear of being without a mobile phone or losing access to it. This phobia is becoming more common in today's digital age, where smartphones have become an essential part of daily life. People with nomophobia feel anxious, restless, or even panicked when they don't have their phone with them, even for a short period. The thought of being disconnected, unable to check messages, or losing access to social media can cause overwhelming distress. This fear can develop for several reasons. Some people experience it because they rely on their phones for constant communication. The idea of not being able to reach friends, family, or work contacts can make them feel isolated and helpless. Others associate their phone with safety. Having access to emergency contacts, maps, or information at any time makes them feel secure. Without a phone, they feel vulnerable, as though they are unprotected or unprepared for emergencies. Another major cause of nomophobia is social media dependence. Many people today use their phones to stay connected with the world, check social media updates, or interact online. The fear of missing out, commonly known as FOMO, plays a big role in this phobia. If they don't have their phone, they worry about missing important news, messages, or updates from friends. This anxiety drives them to constantly check their device and feel uneasy when it's not available. Some individuals develop nomophobia due to habitual phone usage. Smartphones are designed to be engaging, with notifications, messages, and apps that encourage continuous interaction. Over time, this creates a dependency where people feel uncomfortable without their phone. Even a short period without it, such as leaving it in another room, can trigger restlessness or discomfort. For many, scrolling through their phone becomes a coping mechanism, helping them avoid boredom, stress, or social awkwardness. The physical symptoms of nomophobia can be intense. People may experience rapid heartbeat, sweating, dizziness, or difficulty concentrating when they realize they don't have their phone. In extreme cases, they might panic, become irritable, or feel a strong urge to retrieve their phone immediately. This fear can interfere with daily life, making it difficult for people to focus on work, enjoy social interactions, or even sleep properly if they are constantly worried about their phone. Nomophobia can also lead to unhealthy behaviors. Some individuals feel the need to check their phone every few minutes, even during conversations, meals, or important events. Others may keep multiple chargers, power banks, or extra phones just to ensure they are never disconnected. This constant attachment can affect relationships, productivity, and mental well-being. To overcome nomophobia, individuals can take gradual steps to reduce their phone dependency. One method is setting specific times to check the phone, instead of responding to every notification immediately. Practicing mindfulness and being present in the moment can help reduce anxiety about being disconnected. Engaging in activities that don't involve a phone, such as reading, exercising, or spending time outdoors, can help break the habit of constant phone use. For severe cases, therapy can be beneficial. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, can help individuals identify the root of their fear and develop healthier habits. Setting small challenges, like leaving the phone at home for short periods or turning off notifications, can help reduce anxiety. Over time, these steps can help individuals feel more comfortable being without their phone. Nomophobia may seem like a modern issue, but it has serious effects on mental health and daily life. While mobile phones are useful tools, an extreme fear of being without them can lead to stress, distraction, and dependency. Learning to balance phone use and developing a healthier relationship with technology can help individuals regain control and reduce anxiety. Xanthophobia, the fear of the color. Yellow, xanthophobia, is an unusual but real phobia that causes an intense fear of the color yellow. People with this condition may experience anxiety, discomfort, or even panic when they see yellow objects, such as flowers, clothing, or signs. In severe cases, even hearing the word yellow or thinking about the color can trigger fear. While most people associate yellow with happiness and warmth, those with xanthophobia see it as a source of distress. This phobia can develop from different causes. Some individuals link the color yellow to negative experiences. If a person had a traumatic event involving something yellow, such as a car accident with a yellow vehicle or a bad experience in a yellow room, the brain might associate the color with danger. Over time, this connection strengthens, leading to an automatic fear response whenever they see yellow. Another cause of xanthophobia is cultural or symbolic associations. In some cultures, yellow is linked to warning signs, caution, or illness. People who have a strong reaction to these associations may develop a subconscious fear of the color. Even though the color itself is harmless, their mind perceives it as something to be avoided. Some individuals with sensory processing issues may find yellow overwhelming. Bright colors can be overstimulating, and yellow, being one of the most vibrant colors, can cause discomfort. This is especially true for people with heightened sensitivity to visual stimuli. The brightness and intensity of yellow may feel overwhelming, triggering an anxious response. The symptoms of xanthophobia vary from mild discomfort to severe panic attacks. Some people feel uneasy around yellow objects, while others might experience sweating, nausea, dizziness, or difficulty breathing. In extreme cases, they may avoid places where yellow is present, such as certain stores, clothing brands, or even outdoor areas with yellow flowers. This avoidance behavior can interfere with daily life, making it difficult to go out in public or engage in normal activities. For some, xanthophobia is linked to a more general fear of bright colors, known as chromophobia. These individuals may also struggle with colors like red, orange, or neon shades. Their anxiety is not just about yellow, but about the overall intensity of certain colors. People with xanthophobia may take extreme measures to avoid yellow. They might refuse to wear yellow clothing, remove yellow objects from their home, or avoid products with yellow packaging. In workplaces or social settings, they might feel anxious if surrounded by yellow decorations or furniture. This fear can be challenging to explain to others, leading to misunderstandings or social isolation. Overcoming xanthophobia requires gradual exposure and cognitive therapy. A therapist might encourage individuals to start by looking at small yellow objects, then gradually work their way up to larger, more vibrant yellow items. By exposing themselves to the color in a controlled way, they can slowly desensitize their fear response. Relaxation techniques, such as deep breathing and visualization, can also help reduce anxiety when encountering yellow. Learning to reframe negative associations with the color and replace them with neutral or positive thoughts can be effective in managing the fear. Although xanthophobia is rare, it can be distressing for those who experience it. Understanding that the fear is based on past experiences or subconscious associations can help individuals take steps to overcome it. With time and exposure, they can learn to tolerate or even accept the color without feeling anxious. Ablutophobia, the fear of bathing or washing. Ablutophobia is the intense fear of bathing, washing, or cleaning oneself. While many people may occasionally dislike taking a bath or shower, individuals with ablutophobia experience extreme distress at the thought of washing. This fear can interfere with personal hygiene, social interactions, and overall well-being. It is more common in children, but some adults also struggle with this phobia, avoiding showers, or even simple activities like washing their hands. The fear of bathing often stems from past traumatic experiences. Some individuals may have had a frightening incident as a child, such as slipping in the bathtub, being scalded by hot water, or nearly drowning. These experiences create a deep-rooted fear that associates bathing with danger. Even as they grow older, the fear remains strong, making it difficult to approach water-related activities. For others, ablutophobia is linked to sensory sensitivities. Some people feel uncomfortable with the sensation of water on their skin, the sound of running water, or the temperature changes that occur while bathing. Individuals with autism or sensory processing disorders may find showers overstimulating, leading to avoidance behaviors. There is also a psychological component to ablutophobia. Some people associate water with negative thoughts or past traumas unrelated to bathing itself. In rare cases, individuals with anxiety disorders, depression, or obsessive-compulsive tendencies may develop a fear of bathing due to intrusive thoughts or overwhelming stress. The act of washing, instead of feeling refreshing, becomes a source of discomfort and fear. People with ablutophobia may avoid bathing altogether or limit their contact with water. This can lead to noticeable hygiene issues, which may cause embarrassment, social isolation, or health problems. In severe cases, individuals may refuse to enter bathrooms, avoid swimming pools, or even fear rain. The symptoms of ablutophobia can range from mild unease to full-blown panic attacks. Common reactions include rapid heartbeat, sweating, dizziness, nausea, or difficulty breathing when faced with the idea of bathing. Some individuals experience severe anxiety just by hearing water running or seeing a bathtub. Overcoming ablutophobia requires gradual exposure and therapy. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, can help individuals reframe their fear and develop coping strategies. A common approach is exposure therapy, where the person is slowly introduced to the idea of bathing in small steps. They might start by washing their hands, then moving on to using a damp cloth, before eventually transitioning to full showers. Relaxation techniques, such as deep breathing and meditation, can help manage anxiety during the bathing process. Creating a comfortable and safe environment, such as using warm water, soft lighting, or calming scents, can also make the experience more manageable. Although ablutophobia is not widely discussed, it can significantly impact a person's life. With patience, gradual exposure, and psychological support, individuals with this phobia can regain confidence in maintaining their hygiene without fear. Globophobia, the fear of balloons. Globophobia is the irrational fear of balloons. While most people associate balloons with celebrations and joy, individuals with globophobia experience anxiety, discomfort, or even terror at the sight, sound, or thought of balloons. The fear can range from mild unease to a full-blown panic attack, depending on the person's level of sensitivity. Some may fear the loud noise of a balloon popping, while others avoid balloons altogether. One of the main causes of globophobia is a negative past experience, particularly involving loud noises. Many people develop this phobia in childhood after being startled by the unexpected pop of a balloon. Since children are more sensitive to sudden sounds, an early traumatic event can leave a lasting impression. The brain links balloons with fear, creating a response that persists into adulthood. For some, globophobia is not just about the noise, but also the unpredictability of balloons. A fully inflated balloon can pop at any moment, which can cause anxiety for those who struggle with sudden, uncontrollable events. The anticipation of a balloon bursting can create stress, even if the person knows it is unlikely to happen. In some cases, the fear extends beyond just popping balloons. Some individuals feel uneasy around the texture, appearance, or even the act of blowing up a balloon. The sensation of a balloon stretching or the sound of air escaping may cause discomfort, This can make parties, carnivals, and other festive events difficult to attend. Globophobia can be linked to broader anxiety disorders or sensory sensitivities. People who are sensitive to loud noises, such as those with hyperacusis or misophonia, may find the sound of balloons particularly distressing. Similarly, individuals with generalized anxiety disorder, GAD, may experience heightened fear in situations where they feel they cannot control their environment. The symptoms of globophobia vary. Some people experience nervousness or discomfort when near balloons, while others have stronger reactions, including sweating, rapid heartbeat, nausea, dizziness, or even crying. The sight of a child playing with a balloon or hearing someone inflate one can be enough to trigger an anxious response. Avoidance behaviors are common among people with globophobia. They may refuse to attend events where balloons are present, request decorations without balloons, or leave a room if they see one. In extreme cases, they may even feel anxious seeing pictures or videos of balloons. Treatment for globophobia typically involves exposure therapy. A therapist might start by showing pictures of balloons, then gradually introduce real balloons at a safe distance. Over time, the person learns to manage their fear through controlled exposure. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, can also help reframe negative thoughts and reduce anxiety. Breathing exercises and relaxation techniques can help manage stress when around balloons. Practicing mindfulness and focusing on the present moment can reduce the fear response. In some cases, sound therapy can help desensitize individuals to the noise of a popping balloon. Although globophobia may seem minor compared to other phobias, it can have a real impact on a person's life. Avoiding balloons can make it difficult to attend parties, celebrations, or even certain social events. Understanding that the fear is irrational but real is the first step toward overcoming it. With the right approach, individuals with globophobia can gradually learn to tolerate balloons without distress. Hippopotomonstrosesquipedaliophobia, the fear of long words. Hippopotomonstrosesquipedaliophobia is an ironic and paradoxical phobia. It is the fear of long words. Despite its unnecessarily long and intimidating name, this phobia is very real for those who experience it. People with this condition feel extreme anxiety, discomfort, or even panic when confronted with lengthy or complex words. This fear can interfere with reading, writing, and even daily conversations, especially in academic or professional settings. The origin of this phobia is often linked to negative childhood experiences. Some individuals may have struggled with reading difficulties, such as dyslexia, or had embarrassing moments when trying to pronounce long words in school. Being laughed at, corrected harshly, or failing to pronounce a word correctly can create a lasting fear of encountering long words again. Over time, this fear can develop into avoidance behaviors, where individuals purposely steer clear of situations that require them to read or say long words. Another major cause of this phobia is performance anxiety. People who fear public speaking or making mistakes in front of others may develop an aversion to long words, as they are often more difficult to pronounce and remember. The fear of mispronouncing a word, stumbling over it, or feeling unintelligent can cause severe anxiety. For some, even hearing long words can trigger an uncomfortable response, as they associate it with difficulty and failure. Hippopotomonstrosesquipedaliophobia can also be linked to general reading anxiety. Some individuals find long words overwhelming because they require more cognitive effort to process. The complexity of multisyllabic words may feel intimidating, leading to stress or avoidance. Those with a history of struggling with language comprehension or learning disorders may be particularly prone to this fear. The symptoms of this phobia vary but typically include sweating, increased heart rate, dizziness, dry mouth, and even shortness of breath when encountering long words. In extreme cases, individuals may feel nauseous, disoriented, or have a full-blown panic attack when faced with a long word in a text or conversation. Some may even avoid reading altogether, or limit their vocabulary to avoid the risk of encountering unfamiliar, long words. To cope with this fear, many individuals develop avoidance behaviors. They may intentionally use simpler words in speech and writing, avoid books or articles that contain complex vocabulary, or experience anxiety in academic or professional settings where long words are commonly used. Some people may even rely on others to read or explain difficult words for them. Overcoming Hippopotomonstrosesquipedaliophobia often involves gradual exposure therapy. Individuals can start by reading shorter, simpler words and gradually work their way up to longer ones. Breaking long words into smaller, manageable syllables can also make them feel less intimidating. Practicing pronunciation in a safe environment, such as alone or with a supportive friend, can build confidence over time. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, is another effective method for overcoming this phobia. By identifying negative thought patterns and replacing them with positive associations, individuals can reduce their anxiety around long words. Relaxation techniques such as deep breathing, mindfulness, and visualization can also help manage stress when encountering complex words. Although Hippopotomonstrosesquipedaliophobia may seem humorous to those who don't experience it, it can be a significant source of distress for those who do. Overcoming this fear requires patience, practice, and a shift in mindset. With time and effort, individuals can learn to approach long words with confidence rather than fear. Omphalophobia, the fear of belly buttons. Omphalophobia is an unusual but genuine phobia characterized by a fear of belly buttons. People with this condition experience anxiety, discomfort, or even panic when touching, seeing, or thinking about belly buttons, whether their own or someone else's. In extreme cases, individuals may avoid situations where they might be exposed to belly buttons, such as swimming pools, beaches, or even certain types of clothing. The root cause of omphalophobia is often psychological. Some individuals associate belly buttons with the umbilical cord, which connects a baby to the mother before birth. This connection to the human body and the idea of something being attached internally can make some people feel uneasy or disgusted. Others may fear that touching their belly button will somehow damage their insides or cause harm. For some, omphalophobia develops from a traumatic experience. A painful surgery, medical procedure, or injury related to the abdomen can lead to an aversion to belly buttons. Even hearing stories about infections, surgical complications, or medical conditions involving the belly button may reinforce this fear. There is also a sensory aspect to this phobia. Some people are extremely sensitive to touch, particularly in the stomach area. The sensation of touching their own belly button or seeing someone else touch theirs can feel uncomfortable or even unbearable. This heightened sensitivity can lead to avoidance behaviors, such as never touching their belly button or avoiding clothing that presses against it. Social and cultural influences can also play a role. Some people find belly buttons strange, unappealing, or even dirty. This perception may be reinforced by personal experiences, cultural taboos, or exaggerated fears about hygiene. In some cases, individuals with obsessive-compulsive tendencies may fixate on the idea that belly buttons are unhygienic, leading to compulsive avoidance behaviors. The symptoms of omphalophobia vary from person to person. Some may feel mild discomfort when they see a belly button, while others experience extreme anxiety, nausea, or dizziness. Physical reactions can include rapid heartbeat, sweating, muscle tension, and, in severe cases, panic attacks. The fear may be so intense that individuals go to great lengths to avoid looking at or thinking about belly buttons. To cope with this fear, people with omphalophobia may adopt avoidance behaviors. They might wear clothing that covers their belly button at all times, avoid swimming or activities that expose their stomach, or even request that others refrain from mentioning belly buttons in conversation. In extreme cases, they may refuse to look at themselves in the mirror if their belly button is visible. Overcoming omphalophobia often requires gradual exposure therapy. Individuals can start by looking at pictures of belly buttons, then progress to touching their belly button for brief periods. Over time, repeated exposure helps desensitize the fear response. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, is another effective treatment. By challenging negative thoughts and replacing them with rational, less fearful perspectives, individuals can reframe their mindset toward belly buttons. Mindfulness techniques, deep breathing, and relaxation exercises can also help manage anxiety when encountering belly buttons. Omphalophobia is not as commonly discussed as other phobias, but it can be a significant source of distress for those who have it. While belly buttons are a natural part of the human body, they can trigger deep-seated fears for some individuals. With time, patience, and professional support, those with omphalophobia can learn to manage and even overcome their fear.